Hi, we're here today to show you the capabilities of the Q20, Q24 Bernina long arm machine. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Al, and we're Above and Beyond Creative Sewing in Nanuet, New York, your Bernina long arm dealer.
Absolutely. So let's get started with bobbin winding and threading.
That sounds great.
Awesome.
Take it away, Kathy.
Alrighty. So this machine is so easy to use. So I have our Arrow quilt thread here that we use by Madeira. This is awesome thread. We're going to put this on the machine like this. It's going to come up into the thread guide here. Okay. Now the bobbin, if you'll notice, the Bernina bobbin has the word actually Bernina written right on it. So a very easy way to remember how to thread and wind bobbin on this machine is you want the Bernina lettering to kiss the machine. So we're going to go ahead and take this like this and just put it right on the bobbin winder with the words facing the machine. Now we're going to take our thread and put it around the tension disc here, get it into there, wrap it around like this. We're going to bring it all the way over to the bobbin. We're just going to wind it a few times around. Bernina makes it really easy, and right over here there's a little cutter for you. We're going to cut the thread like that, and then this just comes down and it's like magic. It just winds the bobbin. Super easy. It has a sensor so that when it's filled it will automatically stop. Really can't be any easier than that.
Now, that bobbin winder, you can also wind a bobbin as you're sewing. So if you have a second spool of thread or you want to put on a different color, it's an independent motor that winds the bobbin. It's super silent and it just does a great job.
Yep. Okay, so it looks like we're coming to the end here.
Now you can also speed regulate how fast you want the bobbin to wind, right?
Yeah.
So that's really neat. So if you like to wind it a little bit more slowly, you can.
Okay, great. So now we're going to cut this off. And now also very importantly, what we're going to do, if you want to just kind of pan on the screen here, Bernina makes it really easy. So there's right on the screen, there is a little icon that looks like a bobbin. So we're going to push that and we're going to tell it that we have, our bobbin is 100% full. So that as the thread gets used, it's going to come down and let you know when you're running out of thread. Okay, we're just going to X out of this. And now Al's going to take it away with the threading.
Awesome. So before I put the new bobbin in the machine, I'm going to take my little dust brush that came with my machine and I'm going to brush out the inside here. Get any little bit of dust or anything that's built up in there. You can see that fuzz there. We're going to just kind of clean that out and get that all nice and clean. So now it's got no dust, no lint in there. I'm ready to go. Now you heard Kathy mention that we're going to take the name Bernina and we're going to kiss the machine. So what that means is that she wound it with the Bernina facing the machine. I'm going to do the same thing here. The bobbin is going to go in facing the machine. So in order to do that, I'm going to put it in the bobbin case just like so. I get my bobbin case, push it, push it in just like that with the Bernina facing out from the bobbin case, pull it up into the tension, and now the Bernina, hopefully you can see that, is going to kiss the machine. So I'm going to push this in and snap it in. The tail that's left, I'm going to use this cutter here on the side to cut the tail to the correct length. So once that's done, I can go ahead and close the machine. So now we have our bobbin in place. We're almost ready to go, but the next step is of course to thread the machine. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So what's really cool about the Bernina is you've got a couple of different thread stands, so you can have an extra spool on there for threading and one for bobbin winding, or you could just use the same spool and just move it over. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this on the left side here for threading. I'm going to bring my thread up into the first guide, which is directly over the spool, and into the second guide just like that. So now the thread will come off very easily and the thread is always moving up away from the spool instead of at an angle. Now if you come over to this side, we're going to show you the thread guide. This is the thread guide right over here. Let me switch positions here. We're going to take this thread and snap it into the thread guide just like so. If you use thread conditioner, you put your thread conditioner on this little sponge here and bring the thread over here into the thread conditioner. I am not going to be using the thread conditioner today, so I'm going to simply skip that part. I'm going to go in just the first guide. Now gently holding the thread, putting a little bit of tension, I'm going to bring it down into this little hook right here and bring the thread up. Hold it here. There we go, just like that. Then we're going to come across the front of the machine, just like so. Now we're going to switch sides again. We're going to come to this side and we're going to thread the machine. So now it's straight across the front. I'm simply going to bring it up and around, following this printed arrow on the machine. Go up and around, down, back up, and then I'm going to take the end of my thread and feed it through the take-up lever, which is right here. Then this thread comes straight back down, and just like that, I'm ready now for the guides. There's 2 guides on this machine. There's a guide right here in the front where the thread just slips into a little spot right there, and there's a second guide right over here. So now the thread is laying right in front of the needle. Okay. So we have our 2 guides now. The thread is in both guides, the first guide and the needle guide. And the next step is we're going to use our needle threader. You take the thread and hook it under this post just like that. Hopefully you can see that. Push the needle threader all the way down. It's going to click into place. Come around the front, click it in, release the needle threader, and it makes a nice loop on the back, which you then just pull out, just like so. Okay. And there's my thread. So now the machine is threaded. The bobbin winder is set to full, so the machine will notify me when our bobbin is getting low to be able to replace the bobbin. We're all ready to put our quilt on. We're going to do that in the next video. Kathy, would you join me again?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much for joining us at Above and Beyond Creative Sewing in Nanuet. We produce these videos to make it easier for you to use the machine. And if you don't have a Bernina Q20 or a Q24,
come and see us.
Right.
Please,
We'd be happy to show you one in person, sell you a machine.
Definitely.
Or even
we always have this machine threaded and ready to go with fabric, so you can come and play, test it out. It's so much fun, and really once you get started, it's addictive.
So this series of videos is going to take you right through loading the quilt, setting up the Qmatic, which is the automated quilting software, running the machine, and then removing the quilt. So keep your eye on the next videos and you'll learn everything there is to know about the Bernina.
Everything there is to know about this machine. Yeah, it's really great. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.